Hi, everybody. Jenna from Justuno here. Thanks for joining us today. I am joined by Nick. Nick, I'm probably going to mispronounce your last name, but
Okay.
Rauschenbusch.
Rauschenbusch. It's a long
Rauschenbusch.
last name.
I get it right. It looks pretty intimidating. I'll just
Yeah.
call you Nick. Um,
Perfect.
Thanks for making time to join us today. We are going to be talking about holiday campaigns today, guys. And I know in my email I sent out, I said this was going to be live. That was my bad. We had some scheduling conflicts, so we're actually pre-recording. But the good news is that Nick and I will be joining you for a live Q&A when you are watching this. So stay tuned for that. So Nick, why don't you go ahead and tell us where you are joining from today and a little bit about Shogun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm joining from San Francisco, not so sunny San Francisco, California. Shogun is a software company. We make software for e-commerce businesses, helping them build out their online storefronts and optimize their pages for conversion. So we're most well known in the Shopify and BigCommerce app stores as the Shogun drag and drop builder, is kind of the general way to put it. But yeah, people who, any team members, whether you know how to code or don't know how to code, you can build beautiful store pages with a drag and drop visual editor. Yep.
Cool deal. Yeah, I'm glad you kind of gave it your explanation there, because I think one of the reasons we connected for this webinar is that both Justuno and Shogun are pretty easy to use tools for marketers. So we're similar in that we're a software that it's just pretty easy to set up something and get something live quickly. So for those of you who don't know Justuno, we are a conversion suite software. So we take everything from your email capture all the way through lead nurturing on your website. And a lot of you probably know us more as the pop-up solution, but we're actually probably a little more robust than that. And I will get into some more of those details later when we do our demo. So before we get started on content today, Nick, I was curious, I was doing some research prepping for the webinar and researching Shogun, and obviously you came up as the co-founder, and I saw that you were a Y Combinator grad, so that's pretty awesome. So I thought
Thanks.
maybe if you could take a couple of minutes, and for those people in our audience who don't know what that is, if you could explain it really quickly, and then also let us know if that had, did that have any influence on you co-founding Shogun, is what I was interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So yeah, we went through Y Combinator for Shogun, myself
Oh,
and
okay,
my business partner, Finbar,
cool.
Shogun CEO and my co-founder. And what Y Combinator is it is what's known as an accelerator for startups. And it's a 12-week intensive program that basically helps you think about your company and pushes you to grow as fast as you can. And so there was a while, we originally, Finbar and I had built Shogun as a software startup. And we tried selling it to startups. We tried selling it to enterprise. We sold a little bit to agency, but we weren't finding like an enormous amount of traction. And then we wrote this integration for Shopify, and Shogun started to get, some traction, but we actually took a little bit of a break, kept Shogun as a side project on Shopify for something like a year and a half, and it just grew and grew and grew
Oh,
until we
wow.
realized, hey, this actually has potential to be a much bigger company. And that's when we decided to apply to Y Combinator. And so Y Combinator does give you a small amount of money as a seed investment. Well, for some it would be a large amount of money. But they give you a certain amount of money for a certain percentage of your company. You go through their program. They give you a ton of support. They give you a great network. And then they generally, it culminates in this demo day where you go and you pitch to VC. And then usually most people will raise something like a seed round for their company at demo day or post demo day. So the program was great. The network is really amazing. A lot of really valuable insights, and just kind of the constant drive to push you into thinking bigger and bigger and bigger.
Sure.
Was a good experience, and they're obviously investors of ours, and we appreciate their support very much.
That's really cool. Yeah, I can imagine just having some accountability when you're in a startup is very helpful.
Yeah,
So that's awesome to hear. So for those of you who are attending, Nick has been through the school. He knows what he's talking about. So we look forward to hearing, hopefully, we look forward to hearing what you have to say today. So this is pre-recorded, guys. I will go ahead and talk to you now as if it were live, but I'd love to know where you guys are joining us from. I myself am in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am a remote employee for Justuno, but we are headquartered in San Fran, so neighbors of Nick. And we also have a growing office in Austin. I think our Austin office is actually bigger than SF now. Not sure on that, but anyways, we are there. So let us know in the chat where you guys are from. You'll see a little chat box. Go ahead and type in. Also, let us know your store URL and what kind of products you guys sell. We're interested to know who we're talking to today and what you guys are selling. That way we could speak a little bit more to you personally, probably. And Nick, I will go ahead and get started with the content. So let's go ahead and kick off with talking about today's topic, which is holiday campaigns and why you should be planning them now. So I know a lot of you, when you think holiday and e-commerce, what is the first holiday that comes to your mind? And you guys can feel free to type that in the chat too. What I'm guessing all of you are going to say is Black Friday. Nick, I don't know if you might have a different guess for e-commerce retailers.
yeah. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I think it's like pasted all over the walls at Shopify and BigCommerce when I visited. So I
Yeah,
say
yeah. Well, and two, I wasn't sure if I was speaking really from a US perspective, but I think that holiday is pretty international. Well, holiday, that marketing holiday is pretty international. But go ahead and tell us which ones you guys really focus on right now in your marketing campaigns. And then let's go ahead and while you guys are chatting, go ahead, Nick, and let us know why holiday campaigns in general are important. So forget about the big ones. Let's talk about the whole.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in short, it's one of the best times to make sales. It's shown that like the volume of e-commerce increases during holiday periods. I believe it's like a little bit. There's like a over 10% surge during some of these times. I think that most stores probably already have like a certain degree of a holiday strategy. But if you don't, you're missing out on great opportunities to bank on more sales and to also, even with some of the general holidays that you wouldn't think of, those are great excuses to re-engage engage your visitors and drive more sales, drive more promotions. So I think that like holiday strategy is integral to any e-commerce company.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for those of you who are thinking like, I don't know what holidays to use because your business is in such an odd niche, like, I don't know, maybe Mother's Day, for example, for a flower retailer, right, is a home run. But if you own an auto parts store, it's probably not the most, the most productive marketing holiday for you and for your store. So we're going to give you some ideas later about what kind of campaigns you can be creative with. What I wanted to show you guys is some stats that we took from last year's Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And I realize again that this is the holy grail of e-commerce holidays. But what you're looking at here is a graph that shows the difference between website traffic that was shown an offer and website traffic that was not. So the blue bars represent those people that came to the site, came to our client's database site, and were not shown an offer, didn't engage with anything. And the green shows the conversion rate increase of people that did engage with an offer. So just like Nick was saying, there are multiple opportunities for you guys to set up something and just what we like to say is throw your customer a bone. So just, give them an offer and you will obviously see your revenue increase. For those of you that are worried about what that can look like for your business, we'll also touch on that later in terms of what kind of offers can you set up? Can you afford to do that with your margins? And Nick, I'll probably ask you a little bit more about that too to get your thoughts.
Cool.
So let's check out what kind of offers we can set up. Nick, do you want to talk about this slide first? You want me to take it?
No, no, I'm happy to talk about it. So
Okay.
yeah, as one would expect, when you are running promotions during the holidays, it's all about discounts. I mean, that's the primary incentive that is getting customers excited. In fact, like 73% of customers say that discount is the main factor in their purchase during this period. And the opportunity here is to offer a discount on your, on what you're offering the consumer. But what you get in return is you can create a really strong sense of urgency, because obviously holidays are limited time. So I recommend coming up with a great discount, but also making it time sensitive with something like a time sensitive promotional code. Or using a countdown timer on your holiday themed landing page that shows when the deal is going to end. So yeah, but it's all about discounts. So make sure to come up with something that's going to be appealing, that's going to help sell.
Yeah, and I really like, obviously, touching on the urgency part. I think that is a really great tactic, depending on what type of offer you are setting up or what type of holiday campaign you've created for your company. On this slide, you'll see an example that we've given that one of our clients, Pura Vida, uses, is an offer that is doing a couple things. So it's an exit intent offer, and it's also one that calculates cart value. So we have some pretty robust capabilities with the Shopify platform. We can also kind of get around with it on BigCommerce. It's a little more complex, but Shopify, as you know, has made it super easy for apps like Shogun and just, to just kind of work out of the box. So we can actually target cart value. We can target a dollar amount to create a threshold. So if you would like to show an offer, after somebody's put X amount of dollars in your product or in their cart, you can do that. But what that means is that by showing your visitor something like this, like, hey, when they're about to leave, you left one item in your cart. It's kind of just this subtle nudge that really pushes them further down the funnel to conversion. So, the offer that we see here in this example that you guys put up, Nick, that it shows 50% off every single thing, an extra 15% off and free shipping. That's a pretty stacked deal. I'm not quite sure which site this is from, but you can see that once the user sees this message and then they click through on site, it's important that they understand what kind of offer they're getting so that you can in turn convert them. Oops. Okay, now I want to talk about general versus gifting holidays. And this is something that kind of touched on earlier, like with the Mother's Day example. But Nick, can you kind of explain to our audience what is the difference between a general holiday and what does a gifting holiday mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, gifting holidays are those that you would think of, like Christmas and Mother's Day, examples of gifting holidays. It's kind of expected that gifts are going to be given. The advantage to gifting holidays is generally you can make things time sensitive. There is for example, a limited window for shipping to get your gift in time, which actually brings me to another point. Free shipping is really, really integral to a lot of these campaigns. I would say that if you're closely following like CRO best practices, you probably already have a free shipping policy of some kind. If not, it's definitely good to get it in place because that's kind of expected at this point. Free shipping also has its advantages. Like I think that people see like a 30% AOV average order value lift when they offer free shipping. And you don't need to do it for every item. Obviously, you can kind of have like a price that's triggered. You get free shipping after a certain amount is sold. But yeah, to kind of bring it back to gifting holidays, when you have a gifting holiday and the gifts need to arrive by a certain date, that can create an additional sense of urgency. You can create campaigns around that. For example, like December 18th is known as free shipping day. Because in order for something to arrive, for the gifts to arrive by December 25th, they'll need to be ordered. Yeah, they need to be ordered during that time. So it's a really nice natural force function for sense of urgency for buying. And also it's important to be clear, like with gifting holidays, you can be very clear about final order date for the gift to arrive on time. And you can do things also to incentivize purchase for these gifting holidays, like offer free gift wrapping. I think is something that's also it's shown to, to nudge buyers in the direction of transacting, right when they're on the site. General holidays, however, are ones that gifts aren't usually given on. I think that the obvious example that we got on this slide is like St. Patrick's, right?
Yeah, which turned into a holiday.
Exactly, turned into a holiday. And what I would say of general holidays is, they might not pack the complete punch that that gifting holidays have, but they're a great excuse to get innovative about offering a sale. Especially if it's something that it's a holiday that's going to resonate with your particular product or the demographics of your particular customers. Taking advantage of those general holidays is a good part of the strategy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the company on the example here, but Chubby's, they're actually one of our clients, but this is not an offer that they created. It's one that I just created as an example. Sorry, Nick, what did you say?
They're one of our clients too.
Oh, very cool. I didn't know that they were a mutual. Yeah. It's a good thing we did this webinar to find it out. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think they would be offended if I said that I think that St. Patty's Day really resonates with their demographic. So, I think that the type of guy that would buy Chubby shorts would absolutely wear these things to a bar and drink all day green beer. So I think that what you said really holds true here, Nick. And here I created this example using urgency. I think you can still use urgency for a general holiday. Obviously for gifting, you can do that to, like Nick said, get your gift ordered and shipped in time and things like that. But you can also do it for general holidays in a sense that maybe you have it sort of like a flash sale just prior to St. Patty's Day. So make them this short window to really offer your product and give them a discount and make sure that they see the urgency with a countdown, which is just the example I've shown here. I also wanted to talk about creating holidays. So this is an example I put, and Nick, feel free to chime in if you have any ideas around this, but these are both email examples from a company called Just Fab. They're an online retailer, but the thing that I like about them is that they do these kind of daily offers. So sometimes you'll get an email saying, hey, today leggings are, 20% off or something like that. But this example that I've shown here is a campaign that they've essentially just made up. So they have 7 days of giving, and on each day there's a different offer. I believe this one was around during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but you can still apply this concept, I think, year long. And I really like how they've done it. So you can see this email, you have all sweaters and it's on a Monday. And then the second email is all satchels for $20. And that one you can only use on a Saturday. This is also a really good tactic to boost slow days or slow times in sales. When you can recognize that pattern where your sales have dipped, then you can kind of create some type of campaign like this to potentially increase your revenue during that time. So here I've just said, you can do specific days like daily deals, you can do weekly campaigns, monthly campaigns, or flash sales. And flash sales could be something that's like a 24-hour time or even longer than that. Nick, did you have any ideas you want to add about just people or tips about creating your own campaign?
No, I think that was really well covered. I mean, ultimately, it's just going to be what resonates most with your customers. So if you've got something that you think is creative that's going to hit, by all means. But I think this kind of bridges into what we're going to talk about next, which is to think strategically about which holidays you want to target. Obviously we don't want to go, you don't want to go overkill with a whole bunch of these. Like, I think that if you took a look at all of the holidays You know, not just the major ones, but all of them. They're, you know, they're all the time. And that definitely could be overload. What you want to do is you really want to consider your demographics. So if you're using something like Google Analytics, or I believe if you're using like a platform like Shopify or BigCommerce, you'll get insights into, you know, who your user, you know, who your customers are. But you want to understand kind of the intersection of who your customers are, what your product is, and what holidays to focus on. Is the way that I would think about it. And so, for example, like, you know, if you are a company that has a product that works really well for, you know, for Mother's Day, it may not be that Halloween is also a great holiday for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending on who your shoppers are and what you're selling. So really go for quality, not quantity. I think that also there's like a fair amount of care that should go in for setting up the campaigns around these initiatives. So you don't want to be overwhelming yourself. Choose a few select holidays to start out with. Experiment. Make sure you have analytics set up so you can measure what the results are and figure out what your ROI is on these campaigns. And yeah, you want to know whether to run that special next year, because these do take a lot.
Yeah, it takes a lot of resources to set up an effective marketing campaign. I mean, that being said, I don't think it's super difficult to do. So for those of you that are watching that, or maybe like a one-man show, it's absolutely doable. But Nick's point in being selective is going to be key to doing it better and doing it better next time around. So let's look at our next slide here, which shows a graph about when customers shop. Now, I found this pretty interesting because I saw that you had some exact times on here when shopping begins and conversion rates peak, which is hilarious because I was on my phone last night at 10 p.m. shopping for something. So I thought, well, maybe this is pretty common.
Totally, yeah. So 8 p.m. is kind of when prime time starts, peaks at around 10 p.m. So pretty late. This is, of course, like during weekdays.
Mm-hmm.
Be a little different. The reason why this is important is you want to time like a lot of your efforts for driving traffic to coincide with this peak shopping time. So when you're setting your Facebook ad schedule and deciding when to serve ads, when you're considering when to launch your social posts, when to send out your email campaigns, you want to keep these times in mind, so that you can, of course, hit your audience at the right moment and hopefully get them on during that window when they're most inclined to transact.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a very informative slide, and this just goes back to that planning stage. And when you guys are putting all these resources into it, you just want to make sure and you're taking into consideration everything. So that's really cool about the tip for the social ads. I hadn't thought about that either. So it'd probably be wise to try and coincide with that late night activity, because I know lots of people are also doing that before they go to sleep as well,
And
whether we like it or not.
Netflix and scrolling through the phone
all at the same time.
the dual screen. We're all guilty of it. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, this all I think is very good information, but I'm curious, Nick, to get a peek into you guys' product actually and see, what your builder looks like. So let's go ahead and let you share your screen. I will pop out here.
Right on. I am up. Okay. Here we go. Sharing my screen. All right.
Yep.
There's my stuff. And this is Shogun. Okay. So here we are inside of Shogun. I'm going to click Create New Page. I'm going to choose a standard page. We do have page templates that are pre-made that you can use. But today I'm going to show you with a blank page.
Sorry, Nick, can I pause you real quick?
Yeah,
can you
absolutely.
back up, or not back up actually, but can you tell us before we get into building, how do we get to this screen? So is it after we install via Shopify or BigCommerce or?
Yeah, so let me go ahead and rewind a little bit. When you install Shogun, you are going to be brought to this primary screen. Now we're actually going, through a redesign right now, so this will, be valid for probably the next 8 weeks. But this is our Pages home screen. So once you can go to the Shopify App Store and install Shogun. You can go to the BigCommerce App Store, install Shogun.
Cool.
Once you
Okay.
do that, you'll authorize it, and you'll generally be brought right to this screen. You'll see this big purple button here that says Create New Page.
Awesome.
If you've already built some pages in Shopify or in BigCommerce, they'll actually show up here in a subtable right here, and you can actually import them, which is pretty cool. That'll pull in like the text and images, so you're not starting from scratch. Obviously, it doesn't import perfectly all of your JavaScript-based elements like forms and sliders and all that, but you can import a lot of your page content. Otherwise, you can create new pages, and you can we offer landing page creation, blog page creation, product page creation, and product collection page creation.
That's really interesting because I've seen I'm a part of the Shopify Plus Facebook group.
Yeah.
And one of the constant asks I see on there is, what are you guys using for blogging? Because I know historically, I'm not sure what, people that are on Shopify prefer, but this seems like it could be a good solution for that.
Totally. Absolutely. So whether you're using it for your landing and marketing pages or your home page or your blog page, or you want to customize your individual product pages, because you're doing something like running ads to them,
Mm-hmm.
or if you have you want to add some additional content to your product collection page, or I think in BigCommerce they're called category pages. These page types are about to be released for BigCommerce. I'm currently using the Shopify edition for this demo. You can use Shogun actually for all of those page types. And so again, here I'm selecting the landing page option. You see we have some holiday themed templates here at the top. We're also doing a refresh of a lot of these templates, so lots of new ones to come during the course of the next week, actually. And here, I'm just giving my page a name. So I'm going to call this Holiday Deals Landing. I'll just call this Holiday Deals. And yeah, basically I'm saying the page name, that is also the page title, which is important for SEO. And, here, I'll go ahead. I'll talk a little bit more about SEO once we jump in here.
Sure.
This also sets the page path. By default, it gives it kind of this name. You could customize. This is the end part of your URL, right? And now here you can choose between whether you want to do a landing page style page or a normal page style. The difference is the normal page style is going to pull in your theme's header and footer. It's going to tap into your theme styling. The landing page option will still use your theme styling, but it's going to remove the header and footer to give you that nice clean landing page feel. So that's what we're going to do here for this example.
And to talk through that, so sorry, just to talk through the difference between the two. So would you, and I've just heard this anecdotally, but would you say that for the landing page layout, that is usually recommended, like if you are running ad traffic, that way the CTA is very focused, or the action that you want the person clicking through to take?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, people make landing pages for a reason, and there's a reason why we have that option in Shogun, is because, a lot of our clients requested it. They wanted to do a landing page sans header and footer to give it that nice clean feel, keep a focused CTA, drive a single action. So yeah, definitely a good point.
Cool.
Landing pages are great for these kinds of campaigns. Now, what I was mentioning about SEO, and this brings me, just back to another point specifically on holiday deals, is I think that it's something like 8 out of 10 shoppers during the holiday period are being driven by SEO. So you want to make sure that your pages are optimized for SEO, so they're being pulled up higher in Google search. And important facets of SEO: make sure that you have a good page title, make sure that you have a meta title filled out, a meta description filled out, Obviously, if you're running these campaigns through through social, you can also use these open graph fields to make sure that you have a nice description, nice image that looks perfect for your social posts. But yeah, other things when you're building for SEO, when you're building out a landing page, make sure that it's running fast. You don't want to use images that are enormous and bogging down the page. So if you need to reduce image size, you can actually do that in Shogun. You can also do it using tools like compressor.io. In addition to that, you probably want to run something like a speed test. You can use Pingdom or Think with Google to just assess like whether your page is optimized for your audience. So yeah, make sure that your meta fields are addressed. Make sure that you're not using enormous images. Use compressed images to get them to serve up faster, and run a speed test. Would just be some basic SEO tips.
And so does Shogun automatically crunch those, or is it?
It does. We actually automatically compress images, optimized for speed. I could give you an example like here. If I go and add an image, real quick. So this is a pretty big image. One second. It's obviously taking a moment to load. So here's this image, and yeah, it actually should give me the ability. Oh, I think that because I'm running this in a demo version of Shogun, it's not showing me the option. But generally, over here on the right hand side, there's basically a toggle that allows you to choose what percentage quality you're showing the image at.
Awesome.
So you would see that. That's available on like the highest tiered plan, because obviously serving up highest resolution images is taxing. But on our standard pages, we automatically will optimize to, I think it's something like 45%, which is the right compression. Anyways, jumping into design for this page, we're just going to very, very quickly design a holiday sales landing page. So I'm going to drag and drop on this section, which is a basic building block in Shogun. It's kind of like a box. So you lay it down when you're going to create a page section. This is going to be like my hero section. So I'm going to make this like 500 pixels in height. I could do a background color or image or video. For this, I'm going to do a background image. I'm actually going to go grab that large image of these headphones that I was just showing you. And then here I will go and grab some columns. Columns are how you place things side by side, horizontally in Shogun. So now I've dragged and dropped these columns onto the page. Hold on. All right, there they are. And I'm bumping the columns up to 3. Now I'm just going to vertically center any of the content that I'm creating in this section. So now the columns are centered. And what I'll use, we want to create that sense of urgency, right? So I'm actually going to drag and drop a countdown timer into this middle column. Set this to be large. And now let's say like I'm running this sale and I want to run the sale for a week. I would just go set it to be a week out. Now it's counting down, right?
That looks really nice, really clean.
Yeah, super, super clean. So here I've made kind of some of these pre-made sections, but I'll explain like what they are. This is really simple. It's just another section with a heading in it. And here you'd put whatever your holiday is. Drag and drop another section onto the page. And this is where like we want to guide this. We want to try to guide people to be making hopefully a quick transaction, a specific transaction based on the sale. And so here I've now created this new section. I am going to drop some columns into this section. And then here I want to give this a little bit of breathing room. So I'm going to put some margins on both of these. So I can kind of push this content away. I'll add some margins to the side. And then now I am going to put the focus on 2 of the primary products that I want to sell on this page. And so to do so, I'm going to drop a product box, and I will start typing a product name. Here's these GM's headphones. Now I've selected it. Now I have this product box, and I can drop any of these dynamic product fields into it. This is going
That's really cool.
Product data from Shopify. So here I've pulled a product image, and now I'm going to go back, and maybe under that I want to do a product title, and then I want to do obviously a product price. I want to show off this sale. Now I want to give the compare price as well, because I want to show that there's a major discount going on here. And so the price, I want to bump this up to really, really highlight it. So I'm just going to click here and bump up that price. I can bump up the compare price as well. Just for dramatic effect, I'll put this price in red so people know, like, look at this is a huge discount. And obviously I'm just, building this on the fly. And then of course we want the of course the add to cart button. Drop some columns in there to make a nice sized product add to cart. And then I want this button's looking a little big, so I'm just going to slide these columns. Yeah, it looks like a good sized button. And I'll make the background on the button a different color. There we go. Cool.
This looks really great, and I just say it because I've had some experience in trying to do marketing, not with Justuno, but with something else, do marketing on a BigCommerce setup, and trying to, for example, embed the product into a different page, and the code gets wacky and it just looks terrible. I mean, if this is pulling directly from your store, which obviously it is because you can just drag what elements you want, then it just seems super easy.
Yep. Yeah, it is really, really easy. Obviously, you can do this being completely non-technical. There's a lot of really robust styling controls. So yeah, thank you. So here we can actually also see this whole layout that we're building here, right? And I'll show you a cool trick. We've just built this section for this one product. And obviously that didn't take us very long, but maybe we don't want to build it again. We could actually make this as a snippet. And I'll say that this is a, product box, and we'll save this as a snippet. I'm gonna go down here to elements. I'm gonna go down to my snippets. There's this, product box we just created. Drag it, drop this onto the page. Boom, there it is again. And now I can go here to change product, and I can just choose another product, select that one, and boom, all of that data is now changed.
And it pulls the pricing and everything. Cool.
So I don't need to rebuild that, take that time rebuilding that section. Anyways, I realize we don't want to do a super extensive demo here, but maybe
that's okay. And I'm sure people will have questions too, like in the chat. So I'm sure that you'll probably be asked a lot more about it, and even in the live Q&A.
Yeah, cool. So I just dropped down another section that I created that's reminds again that this is on a countdown, and you got to shop all of these holiday deals. To sync these countdowns, I would probably use that same snippets feature. So I would, delete that. I would click this countdown, make this snippet, and then I would, whatever, I can just name that 1, 2, 3 if I want, and go over here, grab this, and then boom. Now both of them are showing exactly the same, right? And then the other thing, and I think that this is something that actually Justuno does really, really well, is of course creates something for collecting email addresses. And so Shogun does have form capability. We're working on enhancing our, some of our on-page email collection capabilities. But again, Justuno has a robust suite with the pop-ups, which I think are super, super useful. But here I've just added a quick section that's a data collection form. People can type in their email addresses, and then you can easily export this, all of these email addresses, and upload them to Klaviyo or MailChimp whatever you're using. You can see very, very quickly here, we've built a, a pretty decent page.
Yeah, in
And
like less than 5 minutes.
yeah, pretty quick. I can just save this, I can publish it. And now, of course, like I'm pretty confident. Obviously, I know how to use Shogun really well. Before I usually publish, I would check to see that it looks good across all devices. Things that you build inside of Shogun are going to be responsive by design. So this does look pretty great on tablet view for those who are sitting with their tablet watching Netflix, doing their as well as mobile, right? Obviously, this background image is a little cropped there, but otherwise, this is really looking really, really clean for mobile. You could actually create separate experiences for various screen sizes if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was going to ask that if you guys recommend building separate pages for mobile and for desktop.
So the way that it's actually done in Shogun isn't via separate separate pages. So I have this control here that's blocking me from grabbing this tab. But what we do is, like, let's say that you didn't want this section to show on mobile because whatever wasn't valuable for mobile. You could just untoggle it, and then if you go to mobile, oh, I must have clicked the columns there. So here, let me click this screen settings. Yeah, you could just untoggle those for various screens. And you can add in, screen specific content. But yeah, you do have that ability to create a very custom experience.
Yeah, I was just asking because in Justuno, we actually our pop-ups, we have it mandatory where you have to create 2 different experiences just to ensure that you deliver the optimal experience. But that's a little obviously different than than the tool that you guys have as well. So I don't want to make that comparison one-to-one.
Totally. Well, no, I think that's really smart, and eager to check out the Justuno demo. So
Cool. Yeah, I can show you guys. Thanks for that demo, Nick. I'm super interested in it because I had spent a lot of time working on a big commerce store, and the product embed just always looked so amateur. It was really difficult to work with. So maybe I will suggest that app for that person. Yeah. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
We're all on my end.
I am going to log into Justuno. So you guys will have to excuse my account because I use it for a lot of testing. It's pretty loaded with a bunch of offers, but we'll just kind of run with the example that Nick made. So he made a really good example for a timed sale. And I think that if you're going to set up something, like if you were going to do an offer in conjunction with his, I would probably suggest a new visitor capture, so an email capture. Otherwise, if you were doing a landing page without a timer, we could look at building an offer, for example, with a discount code attached to it. So let's go ahead and look at that. We'll just put in a promotion name. Sorry, if you're inside Justuno, inside your account, you're going to go ahead and just click over here, new promotion, give your promotion a name. And then you have some options here to choose a pre-built. So we always offer pre-built solutions, kind of like what you see with Nick's templates. We have some built around holidays and stuff like that. You can also import a promotion if you, I don't know, agencies use this a lot. Like if you have a successful promotion that you've designed and you want to upload it, then you can just do that. But for now, for the demo's sake, I'm just going to show you guys how to do one from scratch. So you'll just click get started. Now, as I was telling Nick, we mandate that you choose between desktop and tablet or mobile. And the reason for that is because, as you know, Google has built some rules around how it values your website and your ranking specifically, depending on what kind of pop-ups you're serving. And they recently just made a change, which we're still trying to see how that's going to play out. But that's the reason we mandate that you create 2 different offers. And also the design canvas is a lot more tailored to the dimensions and the experience. So for today, we'll do desktop and tablet. You have some options here. I'm just going to click center promo. And then you have a goal. So we have lead capture, which Nick was saying that we offer to help you grow your list, or website messaging. And this was kind of what I alluded to in the intro, that we're not really just a pop-up solution, but we can also help you mirror, for example, your email messaging. If you have a code that you send in an email, we can make that code show up on site in a website bar and things like that. So for today, we'll do lead capture because I want to grow my list. And we have a standard, which is just a box. And then we have one with an intro screen, which is a 3-step. We show that this actually converts a lot better. So you might have more engagement with a standard, but the actual quality of opt-in is a lot higher with an intro screen. We have a blog post about this. I believe it might be a LinkedIn post, but it's more just about how the person takes what we call like a micro engagement. So what you're seeing on these offers when it says, hey, do you want to save instantly? Click yes or no. When they take that first action before entering their email, they're more likely to actually purchase from you. So those are the kind of people we want, and that's why I chose this design. So let's just we'll click this theme. I think this one's cool. And now we're going to look at your audience selection. So by default, we give you some simple ones. You can also do more advanced rules. So like in the slides earlier, when we were looking at this conversion rate for Pura Vida, that they grew their conversion rate 164% in a month. They've got some really advanced targeting rules that are allowing them to do that. And you, whatever size of account you have access to those rules. So the full suite you can use. But for today, let's just look at new visitors. We'll go with something pretty simple. And this is your builder. So here you can see the offer. You can make all the edits here to the text. Here you can see the screen 1, screen 2, click show, and you can change all of these. Completely customizable. So once you're happy with that, go ahead and click save. You can change the background. So the full screen background is what you see back here. You can change this and make it more transparent. You can change your promotion background. And then here's the exciting part that I'm most excited about is our integrations. So what you can do is integrate with your ESP, and we support pretty much every single ESP. If we don't, we also have the option to just have a basic email. So even if you don't have an ESP, but a lot of these are super robust, especially our integration with Klaviyo. The one with ConvertKit is really great. If you use ConvertKit, you can add tags directly from Justuno and make sure you're tagging these people into an appropriate campaign. Obviously, we have some really robust functionality with Bronto. They've been a great partner for some time. But anyways, just click and you can do a connect with these. The easy login, those are more of like an easier login. For the connect one, you have to import your API key and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to do. And then lastly, you can offer, if this was the goal, you can offer your coupon. So let's say we're going to do free shipping. Okay. And then click save. Now this is a one-time coupon. We do have the ability to support multiple coupons, and you'll see that outside of this basic editor. So that depends on what integration you're running as well. So this offer is set up and ready to launch. So I think, in the same amount of time that Nick built his page, we built our first offer. And if you guys wanted to customize even further, like add a designed background and everything, we can offer you the ability to go to the design canvas, which is what I work in most, and a lot of our customers do, but it just really gives you full control over the design. So if any of you are familiar with Photoshop, it's got sort of a Photoshop feel, but you just have complete control over everything. And you can edit your text more, you can add border options, you can add layers. We have some really cool layers like a consent checkbox that's really popular right now because of GDPR, and we actually have a ready-to-go GDPR offer for you guys if you need that. I can link up to that in the chat. So this is just showing you kind of some more of the robust options. But yeah, this is this offer is set up and ready to go. So you just click save. And then when you're ready, you can click publish. Now it's not going to let me publish because I don't have the embed code on my site. I'm just using a dummy site. But as long as you have your embed code, then you are set up and ready to go. So that's my demo. Nick, I would be interested to see if you know, we could work together and show one of these on a Shogun landing page, but maybe that's a demo for the next time for round 2.
Absolutely. For us to use Justuno?
Yeah, or I was just saying for like
Yeah.
us to like demo again and show our products working together, maybe like show
Oh,
a quick build and then show the offer popping up or something like that.
you should absolutely do that. I was going to say even for the Shogun website, we should have it
Oh
on
yeah.
there.
Yeah, you
So
guys get a free partner account, so go for it.
yeah.
Cool deal. Well, thanks guys. If you have questions about those demos, throw them in the chat or the Q&A box, and Nick and I will be manning live chat when you guys are watching this. I'm not sure if anyone from Shogun will be, but if not, we will redirect those questions. So Nick, it looks like you guys are doing a special offer for people who are watching this. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So that link right there is a
Oops.
link for, oh, there we go. Yeah, that link right there for Shopify users will get you a lifetime 15% discount off of any of our monthly plans. So
Awesome.
basically, you just click that link. It's going to drive you to the App Store listing for Shogun on Shopify. And yeah, from there, the same pricing will be shown on the App Store listing itself. There's no way to dynamically change that. But once you click install, when you hit the plans pricing page, you're going to see 15% taken off each of the plans compared to what was on the App Store listing.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah, for BigCommerce clients, you can actually just go ahead and email support@getshogun.com and reference this webinar, ask for the 15% discount, and we'll happily offer it.
Cool. Yeah, that's a really good deal. So you guys, I will throw this link up in the chat and you can go ahead and click it. This link again is only for the Shopify. And then remember to email support@getshogun.com. I will also put that in the chat so you guys can make sure to remember how to access that if you're on BigCommerce. We are also going to give you guys a discount, and it is also 15% off any paid monthly plan. I promise we didn't copy you guys. But the way that you can access this if you are not a Justuno user is just go to our homepage and click Get Started. You'll be prompted to sign up for a 15-day trial. So try us out, kick the tires. If you like it and you want to keep it and you want to go on a monthly plan, great. You can use this code Shogun15 to get 15% off whatever plan you choose. And that offer will expire at the end of July. So you only have a little bit of time to do it. That's our urgency tactic that we just talked about. So we'll see if it works. Cool. And then is this, sorry, Nick, is this the same? This is not the same offer.
Yeah, so it comes with every Shogun install. There's a free 10-day trial. So you're able to, to take your time, play around with the software, build some pages, make sure that it's a good fit for you before having a paid plan. And any of the pages that you actually build in Shogun, even during a trial period, if you end up uninstalling the app, you still get to keep those pages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So regardless, please do, for those who are listening in, please do take advantage of the 10-day trial. You got nothing to lose.
And that's for both Shopify and BigCommerce?
That is correct.
Okay, cool deal.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, that wraps up our presentation. As I said, this is recorded, and Nick and I will be around when you're actually watching this to take some Q&A. So if you have been submitting them through the webinar itself, we will take those questions, but go ahead and take some time right now and pop us a question in the Q&A and we'll answer a few. Alrighty, thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you next time.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank
Nick.
you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.